Reminds me a little bit about Tommy and Brady, to tell you the truth. Not Tommy Brady, but, I think he's got a little bit of both. Brady was a little bigger than him. Tommy, when he was in college, was a little thinner than him. But he reminds me a little bit of those two guys, both in his physique and his style of play.
No doubt he plays on the next level?
Early pick, high pick.
You talked about the approach that you took last week and, conservative and letting the defense. Is that difficult for you?
Yes.
Play caller?
Yes, it's difficult for me personally, but yeah, I think that if you truly want to follow your philosophy of playing each game to win that game, then as the offensive play caller, it's difficult for me. As the head coach, it's easy for me. And unfortunately / unfortunately, I wear both hats, and the head coach wins over the play caller. And I think that what my job is to put us in the best position to win the game, and I think that that's exactly what we did.
You talked about Clausen managing the game. Does the opponent dictate when you change that, or is it strictly upon when Jimmy's ready?
No, it's the opponent has a lot to do with how the game plan changes. He has to, as he continues his progression, allows you to do more, but really, the style of the defense you play against, dictates what you end up doing.
As far as your 2-minute offense, Sharpley was that guy early in the year. Now that Jimmy is 5 starts into it, has he taken that over, or does Sharpley still?
He would stay in there if we were. No, he would stay in there if we were in 2-minute right now. He wouldn't come out. At that time of the year, early in the year, Jimmy wasn't even throwing the ball, and during 2-minute it was all Evan. So now whoever would be in the game as the starter. If Evan ended up in the game for some reason, and 2-minute came up, Evan would run it. But Jimmy's the starter, and Jimmy would be running it when that time comes up.
Charlie, it's halfway through the season here. What's your biggest sense of accomplishment with this team, and maybe what's the one thing that you really want to get a handle on?
Well, I think the greatest sense of accomplishment is a team that's 1-5, doesn't act like a team, doesn't practice like a team, and doesn't act like a team that's 1-5. And I only can credit the players. I'd like to sit there and pat myself on the back, Eric, but it's really not. It's really the character of our team. Because most teams, when they're 0-5, don't act like a team that still thinks that they can win. They don't practice that way. They don't act that way, and it says a lot for the character of our players. And I have to say that's probably the team's biggest accomplishment. That despite the fact that we've had a very down year to this point, there's no indication by the mannerisms of our players that that's the case we're at.